The UN Security Council is preparing to hold an emergency meeting to discuss an alleged deadly gas attack in Syria. Syria's opposition accused the government on Wednesday of using chemical arms to strike rebel-held areas in the suburbs of Damascus, killing hundreds of people. Videos distributed by activists, which could not be independently verified, showed medics attending to asphyxiating children and hospitals being overwhelmed. More footage showed dozens of people laid out on the ground, with no visible wounds or trauma. There have been conflicting reports on the death toll. An activist group said at least 494 were killed, citing figures compiled from medical clinics with at least 90% of them killed by gas and the rest by shelling. However, Salim Idriss, the military chief of the Free Syrian Army, told Al Jazeera that at least 1,600 were killed and hundreds more injured. The attack coincided with a visit by a 20-member UN chemical weapons team to Syria to investigate 3 sites where chemical weapons attacks allegedly occurred over the past year. The Syrian armed forces strongly denied the usage of chemical weapons, and state television said the accusations were fabricated to distract the UN investigators. The UN said its chief chemical weapons inspector Axel Strom was in discussions with the Syrian government over the alleged attack. The Security Council will meet at 1900 hours GMT, after several Western and regional powers called for the UN team to be dispatched to the scene. The European Union condemned the suspected use of chemical weapons as totally unacceptable. We are awaiting further information about this, but, if verified, this would be a shocking escalation of the use of chemical weapons in Syria. We are determined the people responsible will one day be held to account, said British Foreign Secretary William Hague. In Cairo, the Arab League also urged the UN inspectors to visit the site of the alleged attack immediately. Ralph Trapp, a chemical weapons expert, told Al Jazeera that with a UN team being present in the country, a very effective investigation could be conducted. It could be conducted very swiftly, because you are now in a time frame of a few hours or days after the attack, so you can find the actual agent or degradation products of the agent in biological samples and also in the environment, he said. Speaking from France, he said the symptoms that people in the videos he viewed showed were consistent with the possible use of a chemical agent. Provocation. Russia's foreign ministry spokesman Alexander Lukashevich said circumstances around the reports, including the presence of UN inspectors in the country, suggested that attack could be a provocation by the opposition. All this cannot but suggest that once again we are dealing with a pre-planned provocation. This is supported by the fact that the criminal act was committed near Damascus at the very moment when a mission of UN experts had successfully started their work of investigating allegations of the possible use of chemical weapons there, Lukashevich said in a statement. Activists said rockets with chemical agents hit the Damascus suburbs of Ain Tarma, Zarmwalka and Jobar during fierce pre-dawn bombardment by government forces. The Damascus Media Office Monitoring Center, citing figures compiled from medical clinics, said 150 bodies were counted in Hamaria, 100 in Kfar Badna, 67 in Sakba, 61 in Doma, 76 in Muadamiya and 40 elsewhere in Damascus suburbs. Syria is said to have one of the world's largest stockpiles of chemical weapons, including mustard gas and the nerve agent sarin. The government refuses to confirm or deny it possesses such weapons. Rebels and the government have accused each other of using chemical weapons in attacks during the country's civil war. In June, the U.S. said it had conclusive evidence that Bashar al-Assad's regime used such arms against opposition forces.